What is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. It is Thursday. I am driving home from work, and we are talking about this year's WWE Royal Rumble 2022. I can easily say that this probably, to me, is one of the most unpredictable Royal Rumbles that we've seen in a long time. Royal Rumbles, you normally go into it knowing who's going to win the Rumble before it even happens. Not because of spoilers or anything like that, just being able to watch wrestling and wonder, what do you think is going to happen? Putting it together in your mind and being like, WWE is honestly so predictable that, bam, Drew McIntyre is going to win it. Seth Rollins is going to win it. Honestly, I can tell you that I overthought the year that Rollins won it. I thought that Braun Strowman was going to win it, even though he wasn't even announced for the Royal Rumble until, like, the day before. I think he took Cena's spot because Cena wasn't able to be there. I just thought that he was going to be a surprise guy to go in, and they like, tried to keep him down for so long on the show that he was going to win the Rumble, and that's what was going to push him to the point where they couldn't not use him anymore. Surprise, surprise. I think that was the year that he ended up getting the shot at the championship at WrestleMania because of the fact that Roman Reigns wasn't able to work WrestleMania 36, if I remember right, and became champion. This year there seems to be a lot of stuff going on. Rollins already has a shot against Roman at the show. It seems like, day one was supposed to be Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. We didn't get that match. Brock Lesnar comes to the pay-per-view. He ends up winning the championship for the Monday Night Raw brand. They wanted to have Roman versus Brock. If it was just going to be like a DQ finish or something like that, I don't think they would have, hyped it up as much as they were. As much as they did. But are we supposed to see, that match, or did they do it at day one because of the fact that they didn't want to do it at like a WrestleMania or something like that? I think that Roman versus Brock is supposed to happen, but my mind gets just all gunked up thinking about it. Basically, is Lashley gonna beat Brock somehow earlier on in the show? And then, Brock comes back, number 30, predictably, and wins the Rumble. So that way he can, finish the storyline that he had with Roman. Does Roman lose to Seth? And that puts us, Roman has to go into the Rumble and win it. Does Roman just enter the Rumble for the fun of it to prove that he is the head of the table and is not scared to go after Brock Lesnar? Both of those things would be fun. But I don't think either one of them is going to happen. There's lots of names. There's lots of storylines going in. People saying, somebody from out of the company is going to go into the Rumble. I think they're just going to fill the Rumble with a lot of, like, NXT names. I think as of right now, there's 22 people named for the Rumble. There's only 8 spots left. I just don't think an AEW guy, an Impact guy, is going to come in. It'd be fun if, the Good Brothers came into the Rumble to help AJ Styles. But the thing is like, they don't have 2 numbers come out at once. It's not like AJ is going to be out there, be on the ropes, and then number 24 and number 25 are coming out at the same time, and it's Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. If Luke Gallows comes out, Carl Anderson's coming out. If Carl comes out, Luke's coming out. It doesn't really make sense that a tag team comes in to do it, but it would be fun if, they were able to say we worked Impact, AEW, and WWE all in one year. And, I just don't see that happening. It would be fun. But, the names that are out there that could go to WWE's WrestleMania to fight either Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar, the champion at this time, I don't think there's anybody out there that's going to be a name to be able to beat him. I mean, it's one heck of a storyline. You could have an underdog coming up, David versus Goliath kind of thing. I don't think he would be that if a guy like AJ Styles, he's been out of the limelight. He hasn't really been chasing the championship because of the storyline between him and whatever his name is, the big dude. But, they broke them up. They went separate directions. And it doesn't really seem like they have any storyline to tie them together. They could see each other in the Royal Rumble, I guess. But to me, it doesn't really make sense for him just to win the Rumble after being out of the limelight and going after it. I see him being in it. I see him, being a guy that, spends some time in there, comes up near the end, just not winning it. Kevin Owens is a guy I could talk myself into winning it. He hasn't had the biggest storyline, but earlier on in the year, he kept on, coming close, to winning the championship, but wasn't able to do it. And he kept on, sort of like the little engine that could, trying to get that one more match to go after it. Was never able to do it. He just signed an extension to stay in WWE. It could be like a little tip of the hat, like thank you for not leaving us and going to hang out with your buddies in AEW. We'll let you win the Rumble. You can sort of pad your stats. I want to pick Kevin Owens. I really, really do. I'm just not 100% sold on it. Braun Breaker, a guy that just won the NXT Championship, would be one heck of a storyline. A lot like how Charlotte Flair won the Rumble and then decided she was going to go after the NXT Championship, like to really help the USA deal at that time. I don't really understand. I know NXT decided they wanted to shake it up, go in a different direction with the whole, I was going to say company, but I guess you can say brand. But to flush out all of the, I guess you can say big names, decide they're going to push their own homegrown talent, basically getting rid of anybody that wrestled on the indies before coming to WWE. It's almost like they want to reestablish that brand of these are our guys. These are the names that we've made. I don't know if it's trying to get NXT cheaper. Definitely getting rid of guys like Johnny Gargano, O'Reilly, Adam Cole. I guess that does bring the cost down, I guess you can say, of the show. But I don't really hear people talking about NXT definitely the way I heard people talk about NXT like 2 years ago. I don't know, it's almost like they lost the war against AEW, they moved nights, and it's almost like they're retreating to the pact of like a 205 Live brand, where it's almost like we're not going to talk about it at all. 205 Live at least got the Cruiserweight Championship on every pay-per-view. NXT, besides for getting their own, specials with the takeovers, I don't think you're ever going to see them on a pay-per-view that's not Royal Rumble, where they're trying to compete to win, that main event spot at WrestleMania. I don't know. It's almost like Vince has this bad taste in his mouth about NXT, and it's almost like when it was the ECW brand. If he could just, wipe the slate clean, say, ECW's dead and we're going in with a new show, I think that's what they should have done. Have a different direction for the show other than being developmental. It should have been some sort of a third brand. Fuck it, bring back WCW and just call that show Nitro and just put your guys on there a lot like you did with ECW, where it's a little bit higher than your Performance Center wrestler guys and a little mix of the guys that are lost in the shuffle and can't get on Raw or SmackDown. It didn't work then, but I just don't see what they're doing. It's almost like you're hurting the guys by putting them on a show that nobody wants to talk about. They're on USA, but it's almost like they got a bad stigma because of the fact they're on NXT 2.0. But hey, maybe it'll work because it's on a different day, a different time period. It's not competing with those AEW viewers, I guess you can say. But I mean, Kevin Owens is the guy that I want to pick. I just don't think it's gonna happen. I just don't really know who else is out there. You know, guys like Dolph Ziggler have been involved with like a tag team for this entire year with him and Robert Roode. It's not like a guy from a tag team's just gotta, you know, pick up and win it and be able to go with it. It'd be fun if somebody like, you know, a member of the Usos won it and be forced to go up against Roman Reigns, you know, to break up the bloodline from inside. We had that storyline that was so good, you know, when the bloodline was first getting started, over, you know, them standing up to Roman Reigns. I don't really know how they're going to end the faction that they have, other than Roman just losing the title and just basically not talking about it on TV again. You know, the Usos and Roman Reigns are always going to be thought of as sort of a team, but it's just going to be weird for them not to be mentioned on TV that way. And anytime they want to put them together again, all they have to do is just randomly put them together. So Johnny Knoxville will be fun in the Rumble. I don't see him being in there that long. I don't see it being like a Drew Carey spot where it's just like, here I am, talk about my Whose Line Is It Anyways pay-per-view, and there I go. But it will be fun that his spot for, you know, Jackass 4 will live on forever. Some people have thought that it's going to be like a Jackass takeover, where just, you know, Knoxville's going to be in there, and then all of a sudden a lot of the other guys are going to join in. From watching the video with Pontius and Steve-O re-watch the beating that they took from Umaga, I don't think they want anything to do with professional wrestling ever again. I don't think they would just put themselves in a situation where they might accidentally get their ass whipped like that again. But that's just me. So, I don't know, going into it, I don't want to pick it, but it seems like, I guess one more outside guy, you know, it could be Goldberg. I mean, his name's out there. He's, you know, a WWE guy. He's got that contract. He doesn't have to work every Monday Night Raw or anything like that, so you don't really know when he's going to pop up, but when else are they going to use him? So, as of right now, I'm out of time. I'm talking myself into it. Kevin Owens for the win. That's who I'm rooting for on Saturday. Peace out, guys.